people across Canada are facing unprecedented challenge. President Trump is threatening steep and sweeping tariffs that will... But we're never going to give up. We're going to fight like we've never fought, as I mentioned earlier. And I just want to thank each and every one of you. It's Team Ontario, Team Canada.
On a bitterly cold and challenging morning in January 2022, a powerful and relentless snowstorm brought the bustling metropolis of Toronto to a complete and utter halt. The urban landscape was left paralyzed and almost unrecognizable, buried under a staggering 2 feet of heavy, wet snow, with the normal rhythm of urban life replaced by the deep, resonant rumble of snowplows and the constant spewing of de-icing pellets from salt trucks. Welcome viewers to my channel. If you're new here, please subscribe, like my video, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next update.
The tool in our toolkit, 100%. And as he continues to hurt Canadian families, Ontario families, I won't hesitate to do that. That's the last. The electricity. Stay tuned.
So what does that look like? What are the potential responses?
Well, we'll see. I'll talk to the team and we'll make it a
update. Amidst this scene of wintry chaos and civic paralysis, a rather unexpected and profoundly Canadian moment unfolded, one that would come to define the public image and political brand of a provincial leader. The Premier of Ontario, Doug Ford, was not in a heated government office, far removed from the challenges facing his constituents. Instead, he was out on the streets, his sleeves rolled up, brandishing a comically small, bright red shovel. He wasn't merely there for a fleeting photo opportunity or a scripted media appearance. He was actively engaged in the Sisyphean task of helping to dig out a car that had become hopelessly trapped at a major intersection. His hands-on assistance wasn't limited to this single vehicle. He went a significant step further, personally offering and providing rides home to several other drivers who found themselves stranded and facing the daunting and frigid prospect of walking through the deep, unplowed snow. This seemingly minor but profoundly symbolic event, which was quickly dubbed the Little Red Shovel Moment, resonated deeply with the public consciousness. While some political pundits and critics were quick to dismiss it as a carefully orchestrated and cynical public relations stunt, it nonetheless succeeded in a way that few political gestures ever do. It solidified Ford's public image and reinforced his political brand. It painted him as the archetypal everyman politician, a leader who, despite holding the highest office in Canada's most populous province and largest economy, projects an image of authenticity, relatability, and hands-on pragmatism. He is often perceived as a man who is not a product of the often stifling world of political formalities and elite circles, but rather a leader who is willing to bypass traditional protocols to get directly to the business of getting the job done. This down-to-earth, roll-up-your-sleeves approach to leadership is a core component of his political appeal and has been a key factor in building a strong base of support among voters who prioritize tangible, visible results over eloquent speeches and political polish. A new, unforeseen role, champion of economic sovereignty and national pride. However, the article points out that Ford's most significant and challenging battle has not been against a natural phenomenon like a snowstorm, but rather a man-made tempest of a different kind. The escalating economic and political threats posed by the administration of then-President Donald Trump. Specifically, Trump's repeated and disruptive threats to impose tariffs on Canadian goods and his provocative rhetoric about Canada becoming the 51st state have spurred Ford into a new and highly prominent role on the national stage. The article notes that Ford has taken a particularly aggressive, vocal, and unapologetic stance, positioning himself as a fierce and unwavering defender of Canada's national sovereignty, its vital economic interests, and its inherent national honor. This assertive and unapologetic leadership has not gone unnoticed by the Canadian public, and it has earned him the informal but widely used title of Captain Canada. This nickname emerged at a critical and emotionally charged time when many Canadians felt a profound sense of betrayal and anger toward their closest neighbor and historical ally, the United States. It was a sentiment that Ford skillfully tapped into and amplified. Ford has been notably candid in his condemnation of the U.S. actions, not shying away from emotionally charged language. In one particularly poignant and widely quoted remark to reporters, he said that the situation felt like a family member stabbing you right in the heart. A powerful and deeply emotional statement that perfectly captured the public's widespread sense of shock, disillusionment, and pain. His defiance has been both rhetorical and symbolic, serving to galvanize public opinion. He has frequently been seen in public wearing a Canada is not for sale baseball cap and a Never 51 hockey jersey, both of which serve as a clear and public rebuke of Trump's expansionist and disrespectful rhetoric. These pieces of apparel have become more than mere clothing. They are powerful political statements in their own right, a simple but effective form of protest and a rallying cry for national pride. Concrete actions, economic pain, and a public relations counteroffensive. Ford's response to the Trump administration has not been confined to mere symbolic gestures and fiery rhetoric. He has taken several concrete and strategically calculated economic actions to demonstrate his unwavering resolve. In a move that garnered significant attention and was widely seen as a direct retaliatory measure, he ordered the removal of all American alcoholic beverages from the shelves of Ontario's publicly owned liquor stores. This was a particularly potent decision, as Ontario represents a massive and lucrative market for U.S. spirits, and the move was designed to send a clear, unmistakable economic message that Canada would not be bullied. He also canceled a government contract with Starlink, the satellite internet company owned by Elon Musk, a high-profile and vocal supporter of Trump, sending a message of economic disassociation from Trump-aligned interests. In a particularly aggressive and calculated maneuver, he briefly imposed a 25% surcharge on the electricity that Ontario supplies to several U.S. states, including Michigan, Minnesota, and New York. While he ultimately reversed this decision after a conversation with Trump administration officials who offered to meet with their Canadian counterparts to discuss the standoff, the action served to underscore his willingness to use economic leverage as a powerful weapon in the trade war. The article highlights that even Trump himself has taken notice of Ford's tough stance, remarking to reporters that there is a very strong man in Canada. Ford's defiance and growing public profile have also made him a regular and sought-after guest on a wide range of American news programs, from the politically left-leaning MSNBC to the more conservative Fox News. During one such appearance, he issued a stark and direct warning, predicting a potential President Trump's recession for the Canadian economy if the trade war were to continue, thereby placing the blame for any economic downturn squarely on the former U.S. president's shoulders. This media strategy was a key part of his broader approach to the crisis, aiming to influence American public opinion directly. The economic consequences of the trade war have already been severe and are a source of great concern for Canadians from all walks of life. The article notes that tariffs have already forced a number of Canadian metal and manufacturing companies to announce dozens of layoffs, directly impacting the lives and livelihoods of many workers and their families. With the threat of yet another round of tariffs from the U.S. looming, there is a widespread and growing fear that the Canadian economy could be pushed into a full-blown recession. In response, Canada has already retaliated with its own tariffs on $20.5 billion worth of U.S. goods. Ontario, under Ford's leadership, has also launched a major public relations counteroffensive, spending millions of dollars on advertisements broadcast directly to an American audience. These commercials are strategically designed to highlight the deep and intricate economic ties that bind the two countries together and to warn American consumers of the tangible financial pain that would inevitably result from continued tariffs, thereby attempting to build public pressure from within the United States to de-escalate the trade conflict. It is a multi-pronged strategy that combines public gestures, economic actions, and media campaigns, all aimed at protecting Canada's economic and national interests.